On this day, beautiful people, I did not have enough freezer space, so I decided to make part of my millet dough flour, and I'm sharing that with you. Welcome, my name is Tiana Key. I've shared a number of millet videos, about two of them, and in those videos I demonstrated how you can wash your millet thoroughly and then get most of the stones out of it. I've already done that, so you can check on that video. This is a day after I had soaked this millet. Okay, I soaked it overnight, and then this time I really searched the market. I've noticed that there are some places that you go that when you buy from, the stones in the millet are not that much. So in case you are buying your millet, be selective. Just make sure you are looking at it thoroughly. These were all the stones I got from this millet. The day before, I only washed it. I didn't go through to take out all the stones. If you watched my previous videos on millet, it had so many stones, and this didn't have that much, so you kindly check it out when you are buying it in a local market. Okay, so once I'm done washing this thoroughly, bearing in mind that I soaked it overnight, I'm adding the spices to it. Have pepper, ginger, cloves, and black pepper, and calabash, nutmeg. Amount really depends on you, depends on how spicy you want your porridge. I want it very spicy, so I went all out for this one. So I give this a thorough stir, and then I take it to the nika. That's the commercial mill. I'm used to going to the commercial mill. As a child, we used to go there all the time, and as an adult I still do. If you frequent the commercial mill, this right here is a normal occurrence. Yeah, he had a little issue with his meal and he sorted it out, and I got this done. Earlier he had milled a lot of stuff, like, yeah, that's how come his area is all with flour. Yeah, so I come home, I spread this out to cool completely, and once it cools, I'm going to make some dough out of it. This is going to be used for millet porridge, and millet porridge. And millet porridge is supposed to be fermented. Okay, so I am making a dough out of this by adding water to this gradually, and then just observe the way I am doing it. I'm doing it bit by bit because sometimes you may not be able to measure the water well, and then it may become too soft. Okay, but for this particular one, because I am making the flour method, I wanted it to be very tight. I didn't want it to be too soft. So yeah. If you are loving what you're seeing, you like what you're seeing, kindly give this video a thumb up, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you for considering. So after making dough out of them, I'll just bring everything together and then press it down. Next thing is to leave this thing out in the sun for it to ferment. Okay, I do 3 days most of the time, so this is the third day. I had scraped the surface a bit because it had some, usually when you do this you have some fungi forming on top of it, so I have scraped it, and then I am just going to continue the process. So ideally, this is what I do normally when I'm making my millet dough. I've shared, as I mentioned, a lot of recipes on this channel already. So I'll just make them into balls and then keep them in my freezer. Okay, so I still did that. I did part of it. I put half in my freezer, and then I'm using the other half for the millet flour. Okay, so what I do is I spread them out and then for it to dry thoroughly. Okay, it was a sunny day, good sunny day, so it just took a day for this to dry. So this is what I got the next day. This dough was so hot, I was surprised. When I finished drying, I just packed everything into this bowl and covered it with my chiffon cloth. And I don't know the science in this, but the heat there was so much heat, like it was so hot, as if I had just taken it from the mill. Okay, so now what I'm trying to do now is to sieve this. This is going to do two things. It's going to break the lumps or the dough that is looking lumpy. Yeah, I guess that's it. So yeah, and then the other part is to get the chaffs out of it. The chaff is healthy, it's roughage, it's good for our tummy, so you can actually skip this process. But just for the purpose of people who do not also like that, I am going through this process. So this is what we have. Millet flour is ready. Okay, let me say fermented millet flour, because there is millet flour, there is fermented millet flour, and there's fermented millet dough. So this is fermented, in fact, fermented spicy millet flour. So that is the roughage. Okay, and then this is the flour itself. I didn't throw the roughage away because we like it, so I sometimes add it to the main porridge, or even add it to your bankun mix. Okay, so that you don't throw that away. Okay, but if you don't want it, you might as well discard it. So I hope you found this video helpful. Anytime you don't have freezer space, but make sure you dry this again. I dried this, I left this out in the sun again to completely dry you. Before you go, beautiful people, I just want to state that the taste of this is different. It's different from the one I kept in the freezer. The one in the freezer gives you the street feel, authentic Hausa koko. This is nice. It doesn't taste bad in any way. But in case you're expecting the authentic street style taste, no, it is not going to happen. It's just the same like when you dry your onions. It tastes different from when you have it fresh. Okay, and every other thing that we dry, I don't know if you've observed it, but that is what you should expect. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in another video with a porridge. Bye.